Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the Upstairs to Right music channel. This is Mike McWilliams, your host and tour guide in this lovely world of the music industry. I read this story, and it tickled me so much that I thought I would share it with you tonight. First, let me whip out my big stick, and let's get into this. Okay, so, the strange case of Threatin, the fake band that tricked the music industry. Well, how did they do that? Let's unpack this. So, by Scott Monroe, and this is on Louder, Together We're Louder. And this is the story of this gentleman right here. First, just from the picture and the clothing and everything, he looks just like a guy I knew back in high school. And believe me, that was about 100 years ago. Update the look, dude. It might help you. Okay. The bizarre story surrounding U.S. artist Jared Threatin is getting stranger by the minute. The Los Angeles musician plays under the name Threatin. And has been touring the UK with tickets for the show seemingly selling well. However, it is alleged, I love it when they put alleged in there. It tells you that we're about to get into either something that's a complete fact or baseless crap, we don't know. Anyway, let's read through. It's alleged that Threatin faked a Facebook fan base to entice venues to book him in his band. And, as a result, it turned to a chaotic mess with no one showing up for any of his shows. Well, let's see now. You create a fake Facebook account to have fake fans, and then you're surprised nobody shows up to the show. Yeah, okay. I can see where that could be a problem. Nice family there. Let's move on. Has nothing to do with this story. The New Music Express, or the NME, I guess there's a little problem there, reported that the Underworld in Camden posted on Threatin's Facebook page, "What happened to the 291 advance ticket sales your agent said you'd sold?" Oh, this is British English. Okay, well, let's switch over. 3 people showed up, mate. No. Please don't lie about ticket sales, and please don't contact us again for a show. Yeah. You pull the wool over a venue's eyes like that, and you're probably not going to be welcome back, I'll tell you that much. Now, a similar situation happened at the Exchange in Bristol, where it's reported that 108 advance tickets had been shifted. A British term, love it. But the only people to show up were those on the guest list for the Band of Ghost Machines. Because they probably had real fans on their real Facebook account. But what do I know? Now, Mr. Billy Bingham from Ghost of Machines told MME, from now I'm just going to say New Music Express, anyway, you know what I'm talking about, that they were told to postpone their set as the owner of the Exchange had pulled aside Threatin's tour manager to explain why no one had entered the venue with advanced tickets. Let me rewrite this for you. The owner of the Exchange had pulled aside Threatin's tour manager and asked him to explain why no one had entered the venue with advanced tickets. There, it's fixed. He added, "It turned out that the promoter had lied about the ticket sales, and all the confirmed attendees on Facebook were face accounts based in Brazil." Well, if a bunch of Brazilians had showed up, you wouldn't have been complaining then, would you, mate? Threatin was told to cover the venue cost or the show would be pulled, with Bingham reporting that he agreed to cough up the cash and the show went ahead. I don't know what to make of this so far. Let's press on, as the British say. Threatin had been due to play Belfast Empire Music Hall on Sunday evening, but At 2 p.m. yesterday, the venue issued a statement saying that Threatin's management had scrapped the show without offering him an explanation. Yeah, because they ran out of cash paying this guy at the exchange. They probably blew through their whole budget. Well, actually, they blew through their whole budget with the fake Brazilian Facebook account, but obviously whatever little, pounds or euros or whatever they're into over there now had been stretched pretty thin. Threatin's Facebook page has been taken down in light of the furor, but his YouTube account remains active, although all comments have been disabled. Yeah, man, because they don't want people saying, hey man, how'd you do it? I want to do the same thing. I love this little side quote. We'll probably get it later, but we'll read it now. I feel angry that acts like this exist. Who buys likes, comments, and YouTube plays, and then books reputable venues and lie about ticket sales? Well, you answered that in your first statement, the person who buys likes and comments on YouTube. Anyway, as the meltdown shows no signs of letting up, as metal sucks, I'm going to check that link out, report that guitarist Joe Prunera and drummer Dwayne Davis have now quit the band and have flown home to the United States. So I guess this Threatin guy was like the bass player, vocalist, or accordion player, or, they don't really get into that. But anyway, the guy's guitarist and drummer bails. The website says that both musicians were hired for the tour and had no idea about the mess surrounding Threatin, with a source reporting that they had to pay for their own food while on the road. Yeah, because they blew all the money, on the Brazilian Facebook account. Now, the Facebook likes aren't the only evidence of Threatin's dubious online presence. Wow, this guy's been busy. A guy once said, and I won't say who because he's in jail now, but anyway, he said that if you got to go through all the work and trouble to be dishonest, hey Eddie, you like this story too, huh? If you got to go through all this work in order to be dishonest, then heck man, you might as well just be honest and work honestly. Hey Eddie, I'm reading these people about this wonderful story. I'll get to you in a minute. In a minute, yes I know. It's New Music Express, dude. Yeah, that shut him up. He's like, oh, it's a New Music Express, I better pipe down. The websites associated with Threatin, his manager, booking agent, press agent, and record label were all registered at the same domain registrar between June 16th and March of this year. Oh, I read that wrong. I was about to say, wait a minute, they went back in time between June 2016 and March of this year, while the two news stories carrying favorable reviews at the Top Rock Press and the New York Music Review were registered within 3 days of each other in November of 2016. So between November and June 2016, this guy was busy. He wasn't writing songs. He wasn't really going out there doing things to get real fans. No, he was busy creating hype. Gotta love that creating hype. We all gotta create hype. You're not a man unless you create hype. Both sites are populated by content that originally appeared on other websites. So, was Threatin duped by his promoter? According to Bingham, no, of course he wasn't. He was behind the whole thing, allegedly. See, I know how to do that too. He tells the New Music Express, I believed at first, from what I had heard that evening, that it was the promoter who had duped Threatin, and I did feel sorry for him. It wasn't until the hours and days after that that I realized everything about his online presence is a lie, and that he probably knew about everything beforehand, even before booking the tour. Well, that just goes to show you that not every British person is Sherlock Holmes, because you should have known this from Jump Street. Little research saves you a lot of heartache. I feel angry that acts like this exist. Who buys likes, comment when we read that part. It damages the music scene. It damages the music scene. So it's not like getting cheated from Spotify, getting screwed over by God knows how many other people, including the record companies. That doesn't damage the music scene, but this Threatin guy with his fake Brazilian Facebook page does. And venues end up out of pocket because of an empty room. Well, yeah, true. But, you know, part of the thing is, at least in my experience being in bands, that we were responsible for selling our own tickets and getting people into the venue. There were some people who went into these, and this is in Japan, where I played a bit in the States, mostly in Japan. And the venue, of course, they had people who showed up anyway, or they were there for another show. So if you brought in your group, the next group brought in their group, and if there was a third act, then they brought in a group, then you had a full room. If somebody fell short, then, you know, that's just the way it was. And you didn't want to do that because you wanted to save face. So you really did make an effort to try to sell tickets. Now, we'll leave the last word to a spokesperson from the exchange in Bristol, who says, no venue could be reasonably expected to anticipate this because there's no sane or comprehensible reason why anybody would do it. Yes, there was a sane and comprehensible reason, because he got the gig, he booked the venue because you guys went for it. You guys took the bait. They reeled you in, and you took the bait. So you got nobody to blame but yourself. It's like if you're planning a birthday party in Hull and you don't have a contingency in case Hulk Hogan turns up and eats all the cake. Okay, I lived in the UK for 3 years. Hull, as I seem to recall, is a port community. I guess he's saying right here that, you know, they don't have a lot of cakes there. Certainly not enough to feed Hulk Hogan and a birthday party. This last line, I'm not getting it at all. So anyway, the story tickled me to death. You know, U17 subscribers I have at this point, God bless you. We're going to be an army, but I know each and every one of you is a real person. And I appreciate your support. I would never, ever, ever, you know, do something like this in order to book a venue when you can just give the venue money and they'll take you in anyway. It seems like a lot of trouble, a lot of money, when he could have just gone to the venue and said, here, man, how much is it to rent the venue out for tonight? I'm going to do a gig. You know, free tickets to the whole town. You know, that would have been a better idea. You know, all this scheming that people do to try to get ahead in this world, and let me tell you something, it very, very rarely works. It only works for dictators and bankers. So all your scheming dictators, even they end up sometimes at the wrong end of a gun. So yeah, don't do this, kids. Be responsible out there. Try to get yourself real fans. Don't be like this 80s glam rock throwback guy. Do they even make leather coats like that anymore? And is that real leather or is that pleather? Because it's looking kind of pleatherish. And parachute pants, man. It's like he broke into MC Hammer's, you know, wardrobe and threw this together. And I have to say though, he's got the conditioner thing working right there. He's got his conditioner, you know, pumping. I guess you got to when you got 10 pounds. Maybe it's the hair on his head that's pulling on his brain that made him think that it was a good idea to do this. I don't know. Not for me to judge.
Like the show? Well, show your support by subscribing and hitting